We're going the distance, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for Game 3, our final game of the day. Kaipi versus Mousesports, best of 3. Loser going home. Winner, guaranteed top 4 finish, will advance to play IC Cup tomorrow. Winner of that goes on to play Virtus Pro, who's guaranteed a finish. And the winner of that goes on to play Team Fnatic, waiting in the grand finals. Or, sorry, actually, I think it's Fnatic and then Virtus Pro. But either way, we have some more games coming up for you, not today, but tomorrow. But with that being said, it's now time for Game 3. Winner take all, winner move on. Mousesports versus Kaipi. The draft now well underway. I'm LD of Beyond the Summit. Thank you all for joining me for today's broadcast. Of course, I'm not alone for this one. I'm joined by my man, Clairvoyance. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, LD, that Templar Assassin pick really, really excites me. Now, assuming that you probably had the overlay up, the fans had no pleasures in being able to see the lobby chat, so which we gratuitously fiended, of course, but really,
I'll keep it on the down low. But let's just say there were some words exchanged over the server selection. It does end up being on Europe, I believe.
Yeah,
on Luxembourg.
And you know, the hot topic that I'm actually going to bring forth is that at one point they said the Templar Assassin would have beaten the Lone Druid and crushed him in similar manner, regardless of the service. And that the reason why that's a trigger thing is because when people are upset, they say a whole bunch of things. I mean, I'm definitely a proponent of that. But at the same time, they picked the Templar Assassin so early. They are baiting out the bear pick. They banned the Darkseer as well as the Nature's Prophet, both heroes who can go to the long lane when they're probably fully aware of the fact that they could just send Fada to the long lane or aggressive trialing with the Lifestealer. So this is them baiting out the Lone Druid. This has so many psychological implications that I
really want to see a Lone Druid.
Oh my gosh. I sincerely hope from the bottom of my heart that Mousesports pick up the Lone Druid right here. Oh, darn shucks, man.
Damn. They could still go for it. But they pick up a Rubik now. As for Kaipi, same opening, I believe, as last game. At least 2 of the same heroes. Keeper of the Light, Templar Assassin. So you know Arteezy's taking that TA mid. You'll have a support Keeper of the Light for Pylai Dai. Where do they go from here? I think the one big thing to keep in mind is they've given away the Lifestealer this game. Last game, Black was on Juggernaut. This time around, he's on a hero that can get a lot more done in the mid game.
Yep. And the Bane was an obvious pickup. I was thinking that Clockwork is a possibility. However, at the end of the day, that hero, especially now with the cogs not functioning as well as it used to against magic immune targets, Lifestealer can no longer be suppressed by one cog and a hook. So yeah, Mousesports have a good counter. They've picked up the Chen as well in anticipation of the Bane coming up to counter up the Lifestealer, saying, okay, you picked up the supports to counter and have semi-decent counter push, but we're going to Chen you and we're going to push you anyway and bring the issue to your towers with just a stronger brute force in the early stages. And let's see if they can succeed, because right now, even still after all of this, that 5th pick could very well be the Lone Druid. And I don't know, man. I am dying to see this matchup again, because it's gonna be a huge hit on one of these teams' prides, and it's always so good to witness.
Add some salt, add some oil, shake and bake, and then see what comes out. Oh man, I really hope they go for the Lone Druid as well. Now that you've hyped it up so much, I'm excited for it. I feel you do want to go for another carry of some kind though, because you're up against Bane. You only have a Lifestealer right now. If you only have one big damage dealer and the Bane gets a good feed script mid-game, late-game, you might not be able to get anything done. So if it's not a Lone Druid, I would like to see something that can scale well for Koikfa. And I'm not sure what else there is unless they want to aggressive tri-lane here.
Well, see, this is the brilliance of KP coming in once again. They banned out the Nature's Prophet, Koikfa's signature, one of his signature heroes, as well as the Darkseer, which would just be a really good long laner in general. And of course, Koikfa is not known to take that up as much. I mean, in this scenario, I would honestly not be surprised if they decided to opt for like the Tinker, but which is Koipa's signature hero, of course. But
they even removed the Weaver, which maybe Mouse would have wanted this game. There's not that much lockdown on Kaipi, but Great hero against Lifestealer, and also denying potentially that hero to Koikfa.
Ooh, the Clockwork fan. More and more three-position heroes getting taken out little by little. All of a sudden, put to the corner. Mousesports, what will you do? Please.
Put your money where your mouth is if you're Mouse. To be fair, it was Kaipi who was really firing the shots. Arteezy said he would have easily crushed the Lone Druid, even with paying disadvantage. So it's more Arteezy who fired the shots there. Synderen was just a little surprised he was being that blunt, but well, we'll see what Mouse goes for. I would like to see something that scales well, some sort of semi-carry. I don't think going for a pure utility hero is a good play against a Bane.
Well, as you said, man, I mean, honestly though, the bear might not be the most optimal, but as mentioned, I mean, they are kind of put to the corner with a lot of the three-position heroes getting banned out, especially with that gyro counter ban. All of a sudden, the aggressive tri-lane option or rotation emphasized play styles kind of thing, it might not come to pass easily, and I do think like the Bounty Hunter might not be a bad choice here. But you know, in my gut feeling, LD, you know that I'm gonna talk about the Lone Druid.
Keep on talking about it. Keep on talking about it.
Man, you say that Arteezy fired the shots. Let's see if Mousesports are willing to dodge the bullet or not. That's a big question, because I really want them to just pick it and throw everything into the haywire. Really, really do. It's gonna be such a fantastic Game 3 going into the finals tomorrow. And you know, you mentioned IC Cup as the finalists, of course.
It's not the finals, but yeah, it's the third, fourth place decider match, I guess you could say.
Oh.
And the winner of that moves on into the loser bracket finals. So it's not really a decider match. It's just whoever loses that will be fourth. Whoever wins that guaranteed top 3.
There's actually the Bounty Hunter option. They're going for it because the Templar Assassin as well as the Weaver, as well as the fact that Bounty Hunter as a whole is so annoying to heroes like Keeper of the Light, because when they find them, they can just burst them down because they're so squishy. Of course, the Bane is not exactly the same story. One of the tankiest supports there is, and one of the best in the laning stages, along with the fact that he transitions to a single target monstrosity in the mid game. So a smart pickup, dodge the bullet. I'm sad.
Yeah, they dodged Mousesports in the end. They did dodge the head-on clash with the Lone Druid, but you can't really argue with the Bounty Hunter pick this game. Kaipi have 4 fairly squishy heroes if they get locked down, and Kaipi will back up their draft, and they'll end it on a Doombringer pick. Well, this here we don't see all that often. Very strong way to deal with the Lifestealer and the Puck in the mid game. Could really cause some problems here for Mousesports, but not always with the Doom. The issue is, can you find a place to lane him? We've seen teams if they're forced to put a Doom in the lane, or if his jungle is contested, the hero struggles a lot.
Oh yeah, because he doesn't really have abilities that allow him to rotate around the map. He only has one ability he really relies on to jungle, and that is, of course, that Devour. It gives you the benefits of the creep. However, it's nothing like the Chen at all, because Chen not only gets the benefits of the creep, but he gets the creep itself, and gives you that extra fighting power as well as the muscles in the early stages of the game. So that Doom pickup might turn out to be something a little bit greedy. However, with the Bounty Hunter pickup, it tells me that Mousesports, they kind of have a mix of a lot of things. The thing that I just noticed right now in Mousesports lineup is that they're a snowbally lineup in a sense that if the Lifestealer gets big and gets a couple kills with the Bounty Hunter, the Puck will get a fast Blink Dagger, and all of a sudden their rotations will always secure the kills. But at the end of the day, if we look at the lineup right now as it stands, it's a jack of all trades. Unfortunately, I don't see it as being a master of any. Whereas KP, they've got a down late path that if they transition into the late game, the Doombringer can very well take out one target. Any of the target he decides to choose, whether it's the most farmed Lifestealer or the Puck, just to nullify his abilities in the team fight. And all of a sudden, KP seem like they have a really strong transition into the mid-late game stages. So I feel like Mousesports are going to be inclined to get on the aggressive relatively soon in this game.
Yeah, pressure will probably be on them, and my eyes are definitely on Koikfa. Bone 7, early Quelling Blade for him, starting in the jungle. We've seen in the past that Bounty Hunter, even if he can't get anything done in the lane, can often be one of the most disruptive offlaners to shut down jungles, whether it be blocking the camps, whether it be stealing creeps, whatever the case is. What can Koikfa do? He's really been, I think, the star for Mousesports. Maybe not the flashiest player, but the one who's just been the most reliable and consistent over the past couple of weeks, and we'll see if Koikfa can deliver here. And on that note, we'll introduce the teams. It's Game 3 of a best of 3. Your match that will decide who finishes guaranteed top 4 and who gets knocked out as the 5th place team. Loser bracket round number 3. Go. Koikfa on the Bounty Hunter for Mousesports. Head to the offlane. Black, playing your safe lane Lifestealer. Pos, your support Rubik. We'll have Cinderin as the defensive jungling Chen, sentries, and smoke picked up for him. Fata, solo mid Puck, has been pulled quite a bit of regen. And then over on the side of Kaipi, you've got Arteezy heading mid, rushing the bottle, pulled a single set of tangos. Sing, support Bane, camping mid for now. Bone 7 on the jungle Doom with the early Quelling Blade as mentioned. That leaves us with Pylai, Dian, support Keeper the Light, and of course, it wouldn't be Kaipi without Eternal Envy. Starting with 2 Reigns of Protection, rushing the Tranquil Boots and the Reign of Aquila, most likely playing the safe lane Weaver.
Yeah, his safe lane Weaver has been rather successful as of late, I gotta say. I mean, it's been winning every single game that they've decided to pick it. So, I guess that matchup is not going to be too interesting because it's not really a matchup. At the mid lane, however, it is the fabled Fata Puck versus Arteezy on the Templar Assassin on Lux servers, and both players seem to be doing fairly well in terms of CS, keeping up. Of course, Black is ahead, but that's really, does that come to a surprise to anybody, as Black getting a free lane is just CSing all over?
Yeah, generally you give Black a free lane, some players are going to have a bad time. Even if his team loses, the supports on the enemy team will probably die a lot to him. Arteezy got a little bit of help from the Bane, that is worth mentioning. There was a single and feeble placed early by Sing, but now he rotates down to the bottom lane. So they give Arteezy a slight jump start, and already he's up to 7-0. Generally, when I've seen this matchup, Clairvoyance, it does seem to favor the TA a bit, especially once you get to that, say, level 3 to 5 mark. Just so much damage, it's really hard for Puck to outlast hit the TA, even though she's unlikely to die.
Yeah, most certainly. It most certainly does favor the Templar Assassin, especially when it comes down to a lot of experience in the matchups. Fata is probably one of the more experienced, if not one of the most. And of course, Arteezy has been having such a successful run with this matchup as a whole, so it's gonna be quite difficult for him to put a halt to his domination on the Templar Assassin. But it looks like both players, once again, they're on a decent start. Fata's 6-0 here, but Arteezy does have the upper hand in denies as well as the CS. So I think Fata is gonna have a delayed bottle, which is gonna in turn result in delayed rotations.
Yeah, and you give the good start to the TA. She gets the early bottle up, can just keep on spamming refraction, even with the new 100 mana cost from a patch or two ago. Of course, Kaipi invested more in their solo mid though. Mouse did pull 2 sets of regen, but we've seen Sing now in that middle lane twice. He's only level 1, and then you compare that to the supports of Mouse. Pos has been pulling. Cinderin already hitting level 3 in the jungle. So they give Arteezy a good start, and they look for him to pay back the investment later on this game. Whereas Mousesports, they don't really help Pos out, or Fata out as much in the lane, but they're getting more for their supports themselves in the jungle.
Yep. So whether they can make the best out of it or not is gonna be determined very, very soon, as their decision making is gonna come to play. Whether they're gonna decide to push the tower or just try to smoke gank, and if they secure it or not. Now pings are coming out. Bone 7 has dropped a massive stack, or he's just beginning to stack up. Oh, and he luckily found the Wildkin. That's gonna be his ticket.
Good.
Yeah, that's gonna be his ticket to a lot of extra farm. Of course, he doesn't have the mana. Ooh, he decided not to go for it.
Yeah,
and
I feel like if you already have a triple stack, isn't it worth eating the Wildkin to get Tornado? I guess it's really expensive, but
yeah, that's right. That's the thing, because the Tornado itself actually costs 200 mana, and Doom usually at level 3 is just over 200.
That's
so
true. He'd have to go home. He could farm a quad stack once he had it, but this way he can just keep on jungle. He doesn't have to make any foul trips, so maybe a little bit more efficient in the end.
It is going really well for them. As you said, Sing Sing is not really getting a lot of EXP just because he's rotating around the map. But I do believe that giving Arteezy that start, as well as giving Bone 7 this free reign in the jungle, you don't want to see a Doombringer coming out in 10 minutes with a free jungle plan. It's just unnecessary farm, but more importantly, a Doombringer with levels is always hard to deal with, no matter the situation.
And now Bone 7 already Tranquil Boots up. He's level 4, and the other thing is, it's not just him. It's Sing Sing as well, who is level 1, as we've been harping on, but gets the DD rune first team, so controlling the runes that way, and more importantly, he's stacking the jungle too. It's now a triple stack over here at the big camp. This means somebody's going to be very happy this game. Be it Arteezy, be it the Doom, someone is getting to farm some huge stacks. And you look at what Mousesports have done during that time, they're getting a lot on Chen, but with the Chen, there's more pressure to get stuff done. Doom, he'll bring a lot to the table later on. Chen, Hero, if he doesn't get something done in that first 10 to 15 minutes, generally does tend to fall off. So
yeah, slightly.
And I also think Kaipi, they had the slightly weaker lanes, right? You're running to Jungle Doom, that's not very strong. You're banning the off lane. Being uncontested, this seems overall like it's an advantage to Kaipi.
And I just noticed the peculiarity is that Pilot Die is actually sitting here at level 1, and Koipa's level 4. So I'm not sure exactly what's been going on with Pi. I know Sing Sing has been rotating, but Pi is also not getting any EXP, and this is kind of bad because all of a sudden he doesn't have Chakra Magic, And if he actually had the Chakra, Bone 7 would have a lot easier time in the jungle, because as we see, he's completely out of mana now, and he will have to go back to the base. So it's not the worst thing, but ooh, a timely rotation coming out of Kaipi. He doesn't have the Shuriken, but ooh, never mind. Pilot dies here with the last.
Bone 7's low. This could be your first blood. He's trapped in the creep camp. What a pause from Cinder, and right as Koikfa's about to get the kill, Koikfa's probably steamed now at his teammate, unless he was the one lagging. But I don't think Bone 7's getting out of here. He's got Tranquil Boots, but they have been broken, not moving quickly. There's another Shadow Wall coming. Yeah, he should be dead to this next right click. In fact, he is. First blood going to Koikfa. Almost got denied by the neutrals there. There was that split second of hesitation. Now he rotates towards top. And you are harping on the Keeper of the Light's lack of levels, and that's really important because Mouse are going to turn 2 towers top, and Keeper is not going to be able to stop this by himself.
No, most certainly not. And of course, if he was able to give the Chakra Magic to Bone 7 in that scenario, he would have been able to use his Scorched Earth and possibly gone out. The Courier, that is really, really unexpected. Now, Bounty Hunter is definitely known to be able to snipe Couriers just because he has the Janata as well as the Shadow block that gives the extra damage. But they saw Koipa running down, and they were able to give Arteezy his bottle through all of it. So they should have been in anticipation of the Courier snipe. And wow, a Courier, First Blood, and 2 towers within the span of 2 minutes.
I refuse to open the gold graph now. I'm not going to do it yet. It's only 6 minutes in, but it's probably like a 4K gold lead, a 3K gold lead for Mouse.
It's pretty huge,
All right, I'll do it. It's 3.5K gold. That's really bad. This early on against a Chen lineup, against a Bounty Hunter lineup, I mean, you talked about how Mouse have all these snowball heroes, and the best thing to give a snowball lineup is early levels and early gold. Because if you do that, you have the items and you have the levels you need to find a lot of quick kills. Always gold and items are nice, or levels are nice, but when you have heroes that can really explode from those, well, that could be a disaster. Interestingly, though, Black is going to try and secure late game a bit here. He rushed to Midas, suddenly 1,900 gold for him, and he's a good 1,000 gold ahead of Arteezy mid, who's farming freely.
Well, speaking of which, I'm not sure if I'll have the timing to just elaborate on it, but I actually don't think Midas is so much a late game item as it is a mid game item. Most of the time, it just allows you to have the enemies come to you. That's what I like about the Midas, because when the opposition sees the Midas, a lot of times they say, okay, this guy has to get ganked. This guy cannot be sitting on free farming for the next 5 minutes, because if he does, he'll get 3 more Midas uses off. That'll be 600 burst gold, plus the extra amount of EXP going in their favor. And all of a sudden, the next team fight they come into, not only do they have the extra 30 attack speed, but they have that one item that they would have gotten in a regular fashion without the Midas. So by 20 minutes, the Midas most of the time pays off itself and more just because it gives you that attack speed, which lets you farm faster, gives you more EXP, and forces the enemy, most importantly, to have a specific mentality saying, we cannot let you go into the late game, because that'll just bring them to you, straight up. And I love the pickup of early Midas on heroes because of this.
This ain't good. Pilot Eye about to give up an easy track kill to Koikfa. He's worried about the Doom's rotation, though, perhaps. Not yet coming out of Shadow Walk. He's going to wait until these creeps are low, maybe thinking he can snipe all the creeps as well as Pilot Eye. Meanwhile, Bone 7 channeling a tornado. He's out of mana. He's got no way to stop this kill from happening. And what's worse is, I think Koikfa might steal every single one.
Goodness.
He's going to steal a triple stack as well as getting a track kill. Oh my god, this is just a mountain of gold for Mousesports. Disaster ensues for Kaipi. Oh boy, this is not good. If you're a Kaipi fan, you got to be quaking in your boots right now. I have not seen a team start this poorly in a very long time.
Oh man, I can't believe how fast it all went downhill. I mean, the worst thing about all of this is that it's just the supports once again rotating and committing all their time. But hold that thought, Eternal Envy's getting pursued out by 2 heroes.
There's your coil. He's dropping fast. He does have a Sakuchi. Already used the time lapse. There just doesn't seem to be a way out here. He's sitting there. No detection yet. Another orb comes through, and the auto attack brings him down. And then a track kill. That's a level 2 Bane with no boots. See ya, Sing Sing. These supports are complete liabilities. Level 2 Bane. Oh, while that's happening, another support going down. Pylite Die's gonna fall top. Tries to ring around the Rosie here. Doesn't matter, though. Black's too fast. But this is... Can they come back from this? I mean, this is... This is an abomination of a start for Kaipi.
Damn. This is really difficult. Bone 7's coming in with the Doom. Doom's up Black, and will they get the first kill here, or second kill, rather?
They do have a Hand of God, but Black's dropping pretty quickly. Arteezy on the hunt. Hand of God's available. There is a TP up on like every single hero, but nobody coming in yet. They're maybe trying to bait this until the last second, but no TP reaction. They'll let him go down, and they blow the Hand of God. Well, Kaipi need a lot more of that, but they do get a very crucial kill, and they get a potential comeback item in the Blink Dagger.
That is really important too. If Arteezy can turn around some of these engagements coming out of Kaipi, as well as the rest of Mousesports, then all of a sudden they'll be able to get themselves back in shape, giving the supports the levels they really need. And once again, it really goes down to that stack. It's not so much the stack has been stolen, but the fact that they've invested so much time into securing it and just having it go the exact opposite direction. This is the result. Kaipi is sitting here at level 7. Oddly enough, he's got 3 points into Shadow Walk. I guess he likes to stay in Biz, but hold on, I thought at the mid lane Fada getting pursued out.
And they get another kill. Dream Coil deployed, and won't matter in the end. The puck's still going down. While that's happening, Eternal Envy gets a tower as well, so Kaipi not content to go down just yet. They're going to throw out some counter punches and look to drag their way back into this game. Now trailing 3-5. Gold-wise, experience-wise, you see the graph, stubborn as it was, finally tip back in their direction. And, I mean, that's really important for them. Getting these kills, it's also catching up the supports a lot in terms of levels. Now Sting's level 4, Keeper of the Light's level 4. It's still really bad for Pylai and Sting, but they were level 2 minutes ago. So call it a bit of a victory for them there.
Yeah. Progress is definitely being made. And every single bit of progress they can find, they must capitalize and seize. Now, Bone 7 has picked up the Midas. This is once again telling me that they need something to transition to the mid game. If they can stay alive, this will be their key to victory. They have to stay alive. They have to farm up. And speaking of which, now Arteezy, can he stay alive here?
Oh, he had the Blink Dagger Monoff. He toggled the treads, but he didn't see the lift coming. Now he's on the run. The Test of Faith brings him down just when he started to get rolling. And now Eternal Envy, maybe his turn to fall as well. Juking, dodging the orb, and removing the track. If that orb hits, I think he does go down. But nice juke south into the trees, able to escape out. Still, there is a ticking tie bomb for Mousesports, and that comes in the form of Black, who has been left entirely unchecked top lane, hasn't really participated in fights, now sitting at 6k gold. We haven't seen Infest Bombs yet. We haven't really seen their full lineup go to work, and now a coil dropped on 2 bottom lane. Envy trying to duke his way out. Is there a TP reaction? Well, Cinder and Spidey kills on Keep of the Light in the jungle. He can't join the fight. They'll get another track kill. They throw out another one. I'm saying it could be 4 heroes dead. It will be right as Arteezy respawns. His support falls yet again. It was 5-3. Now make it 9-3.
Oh man, it's just as you said, man. This is all coming down without Black's presence at all. The most farmed hero and arguably the strongest one at this point in the game, being in just not having a presence in these team fights. I don't know, man. With the top 2 towers going down, Kaipi, they're not winning in map control. They're not winning in the mid game stages because Mousesports are just reaching their peak as we speak. And of course, their farm, man, it's not there. But most importantly, their levels that they need in order to keep their towers alive and just try to mitigate the pushes coming out as strongly as they are.
Yeah, you mentioned levels. I just want to reiterate that. The 2 supports on Kaipi are level 4. Every hero on Mouse, all 5 are level 8 or higher. That's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, at this point, man, it's just one of those games where Chen can solo up the Bane. And speaking of soloing up, Kaipi has found himself the next target, which is once again the 500 HP Paper known as Keeper of the Light.
Oh, he's got no blinding light here. He's got no way to stop the auto attacks from coming. Shuriken tosses in, even blows a Sentry Ward for his trouble. Kaipi will be able to retreat out, most likely, maybe not. There's your Doom. And they will get a trade here, but you had to blow Doom. You had to force 4 heroes there, and while that's happening, Mouse, they take Roach. They get an Aegis on Black, who, by the way, had a 12-minute Armlet, Midas, Phase Boots, Magic Wand, and now sitting on 700 gold and an Aegis as well. And I think it's time for Mousesports. Death Ball is coming. You know Doom's on cooldown. Time to fight.
Yeah. Fada is just about 350 gold away from his Blink Dagger. I'd imagine as soon as they pick that up, they're going to be on the heavy aggression. All of a sudden, Kaipi's death is not so meaningless just because the Roche was taken, but Black pursuing the enemy targets out as soon as he saw them and will be quickly on the retreat as well as he realizes that there is no follow-up. I do want to mention exactly what happened to the top there though. Kaipi, the reason why he's maxed the Shadow Walk is because he likes to do that attack during the Shadow Walk animation, which gives you pretty much the extra bit of damage. However, that cost him his death because he didn't have the Shadow Walk up for the escape in that scenario, which allowed him to get doomed, and of course the following events occurred thereafter. So I think he was being greedy by saving his Shuriken and trying to hold on to his mana, because he does have a fair bit of mana with the drums as well as the Robe of Magi coming out.
Gotcha.
And speaking of which, he has the second Robe of Magi. Is that going to be a Bone 7 style Orchid?
Orchid would be great this game. Weaver nowhere near his Lincoln Sphere yet for Eternal Envy, unfortunately. A hero like TA, she can't get Refraction off, very vulnerable to that. And Arteezy early Mithril Hammer, it's not clear yet if he's going BKB or if he's going Desolator. We'll have to wait and see, but if he goes Desolator and gets greedy, Orchid could do a lot of heavy lifting this game.
Yeah, it definitely has to be the BKB. If he gets the Desolator, I do believe that it's going to be way too greedy of a decision that's not going to allow them to recuperate from any sort of scenarios. So, oh, here we go.
Meanwhile, Infest Bomb on the Bane, and Koikfa will throw out a track. Gets Doom first trouble, but simply skates away. There's no Doom, which means they can't fight. And now, they'll go in again. Coil's there on 2, just chopping away at Arteezy. Black he's going for one of the hardest to kill heroes in the enemy team, and it doesn't matter. It's a track kill there as well. Bone 7 falls. Kaipi are getting eviscerated before our very eyes. I feel like I'm watching an episode of Dexter. Kaipi, of course, being the victim. This is not going well.
Did you see this week?
No, I have not. How is it? Was it brutal? It's always brutal.
Dead dies.
Wait, did you really just say that?
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I would not.
You would have made some Dexter fans very upset.
I wouldn't dare.
That would just be harsh. I mean, Game of Thrones spoilers, even after the season's over, is one thing, but day after, man, too soon. Too soon.
Arya becomes an assassin. Ah, dragons. Ah.
I love Arya. She's probably one of my favorite characters. Meanwhile, well, that just happened. Koikfa finding well, basically it looks like a 2-hero kill on Envy. Another track kill. He's never going to finish this Lincolns at this rate. Keeps on getting picked off. And to be fair for Envy, what can you actually do? If you don't have Lincolns by now, you're just fresh meat for this entire Mousesports lineup.
Yeah, as mentioned, man, and this is just the power of the snowball lineup. Like, we see so many of these heroes, like these 3 cores that can actually walk around the map and kill things. Lifestealer is definitely one of them. Bounty Hunter is the most obvious example. And Puck, the way Fada plays it, most certainly in that category as well. It's just so scary to give these kind of heroes just a little bit of early game space just because of their sheer potential, their efficiency. And Bone 7 is the next target.
Surprise! Before I even have a chance to say it, goodbye. Easy pickings there once again, and you know, Mouse could just keep on doing it. That's the scary thing, is Kaipi, they need those next items to stay alive. They need the BKB at Arteezy. They really need the Weaver Lincolns. Otherwise, there's just no way they get out of these ganks. And in order to get those items, they have to enter the lanes and farm. They have to enter the jungle and farm. And they can't do that because this keeps on happening. Another track kill on Arteezy. 4 heroes descend on him. Kaipi just basically falling apart before our very eyes. Score now 16-4. Mousesports leading by 12k gold in 17 minutes. 12k experience as well. I hate to call it before it's over, but I don't see how they actually come back at this point.
I'm not sure, yeah. I'm not sure if they have the method to come back. I mean, once again, they have the late game, but it's not so much of their draft as it would have been with their farm if the early laning stages went in their way, because both teams have a considerable amount of damage coming out in all portions of the game. Mousesports 5-man DC and GG.
Well, Kaipi will take game 3 on the back of a 5-man GG.
Yeah, and Mousesports will no longer be in the money. Of course, for them, they had a staggering run. But
easy rares, easy life for all the Kaipi betters out there. Not the case, of course. We'll have a manner pause from Sing, and we'll wait for Mousesports to reconnect. But, man, I gotta say, can somebody please get these international 3 teams some proper practice conditions? Dignitas spend more games disconnected than they do playing. Mousesports persistent internet issues, and I'm only scratching the surface. A lot of these individual players having problems. I mean, a lot of them trying to make Dota their career. Come on, you got to get them better internet somehow, guys. This is just painful to watch. They do all reconnect though, and fortunately, nothing big was happening at this time.
Well, LD, who knows? It may or may not have been an emergency. I have been getting a little bit of blackouts here and there, considering that the summer in the east as well this year is really, really nice. It feels like spring, man. I'm actually cold. I have a slight cough.
Oh, well, you're in Canada, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, if you're like in the New York or Philly area, it's been like 100+ constantly.
Oh, thank you.
Not so nice. Well, unless you just really want a tan, then I guess it's good for that. Not that I get to see the sun much here, despite being in LA. That's unfortunate. But Mousesports, at this point, I think they're just one more good fight from taking the base. Kaipi, this is pretty much... They can't make any more mistakes. They lose another fight with the amount of pushing power Mouse has and the sheer farm on heroes like Black with 3,800 gold. The racks will just melt.
It really would be. It'd be over, bro. It's over, man.
And by the way, it is going to be the Orchid for Koikfa. Oblivion staff's now up. Interesting.
Yep. It's actually a really good item on Bounty Hunter as a whole. It's one that really assists you in snowballing, and it has a very similar theory to top lane.
Yeah, they TP'd in and infested Lifesteal, or Puck rather, and went for the kill, but couldn't find it in the end. Eternal Envy dodging the gank and getting closer to his Lincolns. Finally, it's the hardest component in the Ultimate Orb, but still a ways to go. And the thing is, even when you get the Lincolns at this point, Rubik can just fade bolt you and then lift you, and then you get silence. How much does it really do?
Yeah, and honestly, if Rubik gets his hands on Scoochie, and speaking of which, Rubik has so many nice spells to steal this game. that I should have really brought it up. Of course, the haste rune is getting pursued up by two heroes right now, but Paz.
Oh, he's waiting too long. He doesn't deny it. Arteezy. What was that reaction by Paz? It's not there. He tries to throw him up on the hill. Arteezy, fortunately for Mouse, just cannot fight right now. He's forced to run away. Meanwhile, a courier. Envy working on it. Will snipe it out. Made it. Had a completed Vlad's. A series of miscues here for Mouse. Giving away a courier kill, giving away a Vlad's for 3 minutes, and giving away a haste rune. Well, if you make enough mistakes like that, Kaipi, maybe they claw their way back into this game 3.
Honestly, this is exactly what Kaipi are looking for. They need Mousesports to make these slight mistakes and slight miscommunication errors and all of these other little fumbles here and there. If they cannot get all of these things going in their favor, as you said, man, just Mousesports, they have the farm, they have the levels, they can decide to run over the base anytime. At this point, just these towers, as well as a lot of what Kaipi have around the map in general, they're just decoration. They're just waiting to be taken down so long as Mousesports decides to choose the season. And top lane, Eternal Envy, why he played what I don't understand.
I completely missed it, so you might wanna give us the play-by-play there.
He tanked the entire creep wave until 250 HP, literally 250 HP, and I think he was just trying to time lapse it just so he can quote-unquote maximize efficiency and try to just push the lane faster. But Fada said no, he blinked in and right-clicked him once with a Raining Rift and he just popped. That was a silly play by Eternal Envy. E-sama, what are you doing, man?
Well, Black, he'll pop Rage, then he gets doomed. That does go through Rage. Now Fiend Script under the tower. Might need a send back here. He'll get it from Cinderin. So now your Doom's down. Meanwhile, mid lane, they're pursuing out Arteezy. He's been coiled up. He tries to meld, but there's a track. And oh, Arteezy. No getting out here. Taser down by Fata. Some sweet, sweet vengeance. And Kaipi, on that depressing note, will tap out. They are now officially eliminated from the Corsair Summer Tour 2013.
Ooh, and I gotta say, that's not exactly how you want to go into the finals of one of the biggest tournaments online, into the defense finals against one of the strongest teams in the world as we speak. However, Mousesports being very convincing with their victories here, they just, every single one of their movements has been so successful, and I gotta give MVP to the Koi play here. Once again, I called this guy out just because he was 16, 17 years old, and he's already making it so big, but just as you said, man, he's just been running the waves all over the place, just demonstrating fantastic plays here and there in the competitive scene. Once again, he's 17 or 16, one of the two. It doesn't matter. He's a youngster. He's a cute boy, and the thing is, he's gonna become a powerful force.
Oh my God. Well, I'm just gonna leave that one alone. But Koikma, definitely a player. Definitely a player. That's for sure. And congratulations to Mousesports. They keep their tournament dreams and hopes alive. They move on. They are now guaranteed a top 4 finish. They'll be playing IC Cup tomorrow. Winner of that match moves on to play Fnatic for your loser bracket final. And then the following day, we'll have our grand final, VP waiting in the grand finals there. So Mousesports, they secure a top 4. Kaipi, the road ends here. They'll finish 5th out of 16 teams. A bit underwhelming. But the good news is that the defense grand finals are coming up right now. So Kaipi, they've got another shot to redeem themselves. If they beat Navi in that match, well, it's a bigger match for sure, as it is the grand finals of a major tournament. They'll be pretty happy. Head over to Tobio on stream, guys, because I think it'll be starting almost immediately. Kaipi versus Navi is coming up. It is a wrap here for our broadcast today. Before we wrap it up and close it down, Clairvoyants, though, any shout-outs, any plugs? I know you're still being an idiot and don't have a Twitter, but...
Whoa. Sir, I find that very... I'd like to respectfully just... Please.
You don't have to respectfully anything. That was just straight up rude for me, but
yeah, that was.
You should really get a Twitter, man. Come on.
You know, it's just, like
think of all
my
the followers.
Internet. You know, it's just it doesn't let me.
Doesn't let you tweet.
Yeah, man. Just I'm not a Tweety bird.
All right. Any shout outs? Any closing words here?
Well, thanks for having me here, fellas. But you know, shout outs for amateurs, and all I gotta say is head over to the Join Dota stream as you had advertised, because we are going to have the defense finals there, and I believe I will be present for that as well. So stay tuned. Momentarily, we'll give you more Dota.
Yeah, that'll be twitch.tv/joinDotaRed, I believe. So be sure to check that out. As for the Corsair Summer Tour, we're done for today. We'll be back tomorrow when IC Cup will be facing Mouse. Winner of that match moves on to face Fnatic. The grand finals the next day. Winner will play VP. For now, it is a wrap, though. I'm LD. He's Clairvoyance. If you enjoyed Magcast, you can follow me at twitter.com/LDDota. And also, if you haven't heard, the Corsair Summer Tour is doing a big giveaway. Head over to gc.corsair.com and enter for your chance to win free Dota TV tickets, as well as one fully loaded gaming PC that will be handed out sometime in the coming days. With that being said, it's a wrap. We'll see you later. Thanks for tuning in.